Did you hear the story of the little girl who prayed for the devil? Many years ago in a piteous town of Mexico, lived a small innocent girl that had no evil in her heart. However, her parents observed and were terrified by her, and were so concerned about their daughter's daily night prayers. It reached a point that their daughter's night prayers disturbed them so much, that they went ahead to invite the local priest. After listening to their story, the priest believed that the parents might have been exaggerating what they were saying about their daughter. However, he decided to visit the family one dinner night to examine any unusual behavior from the little girl. Throughout the dinner he found the girl to be so charming, and concluded that there was nothing wrong with her. In fact, she was a very well-kept and behaved girl in the clergy's eyes. After dinner, the sweet girl cleared her plate and headed upstairs to bed. The parents then called the priest, and the three of them tiptoed to the girl's room and listened quietly by the door and heard her saying a prayer. It was very weird and shocked the priest so much that he was left both horrified and surprised. The prayer went on like this: "And please take care of my mummy, my daddy, my grandma and my brothers. Please also take care of Lucifer, since no one else prays for him, then I will be the one to do it for them. Amen." However, upon deep thinking, the priest found no fault and flaw with the girl and instructed her parents to take care of her. Time went by and the little girl got sick. Her parents were so humble that they could not manage to cater for all her medical expenses, and so her condition got worse, but even then, she did not stop her prayers. "And please take care of my mummy, my daddy, my grandma and my brothers. Please also take care of Lucifer, since no one else prays for him. I will be the one to do it for them. Amen." One winter evening, while the parents had gone in search of food for the family, the little girl in her weak state suffered an accident and died. The family was so devastated that, even then, they could not afford to give her a proper burial, and cried bitterly, feeling remorse for their loss, and also their inability to properly send her off well. Everyone remembered seeing a horse-drawn carriage decorated with red roses, and been led by strong horses approach the little girl's humble home. Guiding the carriage was a young man with black hair, very pale skin and lips, who was dressed in a black suit. The man was devilishly handsome and tall, but what was shocking about him was his fiercely fiery red eyes that resembled burning embers. He asked to be shown where the little girl's body was, and the parents took him to where their daughter's body lay. He gently took her, his face the very picture of pain itself, and cried bitterly. He offered to pay for all the expenses for her burial. The child's parents had no idea who this man was, and no one in town could testify as to where he had come from. Questions began to circulate about him, but he paid no heed and instead cried bitterly while staring at the small dead body. When the funeral procession had arrived at the local cemetery, the family and town people could only look in awe at the most beautiful tomb they had ever seen. As the body was finally rested, the young man let out a terrifying cry that scared the strongest men. Her parents didn't know why this stranger felt so much pain for the loss of their daughter, and at that moment the stranger turned his fierce but teary face, and with deep pain he said, "For millions of years this world has made me to be the worst. I've been called thief, traitor, enemy, murderer. I've been called the worst blasphemous names human nature could come up with. But this small innocent sweet child, with her great and infinite love for all things, would pray for me every night." It was then that the parents, priest and anyone else who had heard of the little girl's prayers realized who this strange man was, and before they could utter or show any shock, he disappeared. It has since been 200 years since she was put to rest, and the townspeople say that every 24th February, the girl's tomb is adorned with red roses. Some even say that a handsome man is seen standing over her grave crying bitterly.